It is now that I have the privilege to introduce our speaker for this morning, Reverend Jerry Moore. Reverend Moore is a certified medium, teacher, and longtime member of Southern Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp. He is also the president of our Board of Trustees, which is an all-encompassing position to have here in the camp. We're very grateful for all of the energy and hard work that Reverend Jerry pours into this wonderful organization and camp. And so now please join me in a warm welcome for Reverend Jerry Moore.
So, good morning. Oh, that's excellent. You have been practicing. So, it's really great to see you all here this morning. We're starting, of course, the month of January and a brand new year, and we have just finished the season of giving. My thoughts were kind of going toward that a little bit earlier, because it is, of course, a time of hope as well as giving. We hope that the gift that we give will be enjoyed. We may hope that we find under the tree something that we want. We hope for peace and tranquility in the world, and we hope that the new year will be better than the past year. But, of course, hope extends beyond that season of giving I just mentioned. We hope that someone will have improved health when we hear that they are sick. In business, you often hear people talk about planning for the worst, but hoping for the best. In fact, right now, I'm hoping for the best, that what I say today will be of some benefit to you. Today, I would like to take a little closer idea of this idea of hope. In large part, hope is a desire. It is a picture that we have of something to be better. It also has an element of cooperation, and that is what makes hope work. I said that hope is a desire, but actually hope takes us a little beyond our desire. Hope is the idea that we can actually have more than we think we can. Hope is that little place that we have where we aren't quite certain, but we're willing to accept what is doesn't have to be what is. Hope gives us a reason to continue. Hope can exist with other emotions at the same time. Hope can exist with sadness, for example. We can feel sad that someone is having health difficulties, but we may hope that they will get better. Or maybe we have a desire for one thing to happen, and when it doesn't, we're sad about that. But what if we receive something else instead that was actually bigger and better, and we just didn't realize it? Hope can exist with sadness. Hope can exist with happiness also. We can attend the wedding of a friend and be happy for them, and also hope that their future is bright and prosperous. Interestingly, hope cannot exist with fear. In fact, hope only really exists in the absence of fear. If we have a great fear about an event, it's very difficult to maintain hope. Hope cannot exist in the presence of fear, and fear cannot exist in the presence of hope. We often think of hope as the last thing left when we've tried everything we know to do. We think of hope as the last thing left when we have made all of our mistakes. We think hope is the only thing allowed when nothing else is available. Hope itself is a neutral concept, and hope is powerless if the only thing we use. If we use no activity with hope, we might as well leave it on the table. If we are not participating effectively in our own life, we simply hope that something will happen to us. You may remember the childhood story of the little red hen. We hope that someone else will harvest our wheat. We hope someone else will grind it. We hope someone else will mill it. We hope someone else will bake the bread, and we even hope that someone else will butter our bread. It is necessary to combine hope with action. Hope is what keeps us moving. Hope is an incentive to get up and do something. But action is what helps things change. There are times when all we can perceive is limited to one possibility of action. In effect, we have blinders on. When we have eyes to see only failure, then failure is all that we will see. If we believe there is only one way to do a thing, then the concept that there are two ways just never occurs to us. As long as there is choice, we are not trapped in our thoughts, and we can be very creative in a way that is hopeful. But if there is no choice, our thoughts get creative in a way that says we don't have a different way to act. If we believe there is only one pathway to get what we want, we tend to drive harder to make that thing happen. We feel we have to control more, to force more, to fix more. And every time that something occurs that seems to challenge that way of doing it, it looks like we aren't going to get our end result that we want. Therefore, the thought that gets creative is the one that says we're hopeless, not the one that says we are full of hope. It's necessary to be able to recognize that hope is not an action thing itself. Hope requires action on our part. That means we are either accusing the world of being a kind of threat, or we don't have the eyes to see that the world isn't that kind of threat. That means we need to look at the world with new eyes, and hope can help with that. Hope says, what if the threat is not real? Hope says, take the chance. Hope says, take the risk. Hope does not take it for us, but it gives us the idea, a kind of illusion. It gives us the illusion that perhaps this is a different time. Take a step. The trick is to allow the hope to help us, to pull us forward. What often gets in our way is fear. Fear is a very real thing, and fear protects us from very real threats when appropriate. Fear is not something itself to be fearful of. Fear is actually something to be thankful for because it does protect us. The difference is fear becomes inappropriate fear when it protects us from no threats. It becomes inappropriate fear when it protects us from something that isn't actually attacking us. It becomes an inappropriate thing when fear drives us into non-participation. For example, if we perceive that some other person is our only source for something we feel we have to get, it is not uncommon to resort to feeling fear and to become threatening, to in some way intimidate the other person to get what we want. There is no doubt that we can get what we desire without that person providing it. We are fearful we will not get what we want if that other person doesn't do what we think they should do. When this happens, we are not allowing for any other possibility of how we can obtain what we want. That doubt joins with the fear that we feel. The doubt allows us to rationalize the fear and to feel anger. And when we feel anger, we get both brothers, doubt and fear, together. If we take no steps of action, or if we believe we are not effective, if we doubt that we affect the world around us, then we become helpless. If we become helpless, then we also feel hopeless. Hope happens when we have an effect on the world and we recognize it. So how does that happen? How is hope connected with our effect on the world? Well, there is a little piece of magic in hope. That piece of magic is hope is the place we cannot quite explain with our rational mind, because we don't really know where the energy is going to come from to make something happen, but we believe it will. We know it will. When we start taking steps toward our goal, towards hopefulness, then we also allow the rest of the universe to take steps to join us. We must be willing to allow, but not demand, that cooperation, that joining of energy. If we demand that the rest of the world fulfills our hope, then it's not hope anymore. It's expectation. And that expectation ties itself quickly to doubt that it may not come to be, that it may not happen. And as we have already said, doubt is a very strong brother who is very skilled at taking things away. It is very easy to be drawn into doubt and fear. These two brothers work together to make us hesitate to take steps of action. Hope happens when we allow cooperation. Hope happens when we do not doubt, or at least when we do not doubt see our doubts as a limitation of participation. This does not mean that we should put on rose-colored glasses and ignore the realities of a situation. If we are intending to achieve something, it would not be surprising that there would be some sort of unpleasantness associated with that effort. If I decided to train myself to run a marathon, and please don't laugh, I said, please don't laugh, then there would be pain involved in preparing for that. The daily workouts would be difficult to deal with, and I would need to be aware that there would be some pain in that effort. But if all I concentrate on is the pain, instead of the ultimate hope of completing the marathon, I will never get there. There are always realities that we must deal with because we do not have the ability to change them directly. But it doesn't mean that there aren't also other possibilities. It doesn't mean we can't attempt to work with those realities to achieve what we hope for. For hope to work, we must participate with what actually is there, or at least seems to be there. Otherwise, those brothers, doubt and fear, will jump in and justify not participating. In order to keep hope, then, we need to emphasize choice. Emphasize choice, and you can keep hope. If the universe is taking care of me, what are all the wonderful things that it is giving me by taking care of me this way? Use your imagination. And here's a thought. You know what is just beyond hope? The answer is fantasy. It's our ability to understand that there is more out there than what we are already aware of, much more. If you are taking all the steps you know to do, then make an active choice to do a step you don't know how to do. Try something new. This allows you to turn doubt inside out. Take something you think you have to do in a particular way, and then deliberately do it in a different way, and then allow it to happen. And that may take patience. In the modern world, we're used to seeing results instantly. The folks at Amazon have definitely spoiled us. Some of us remember the days of mailing in the box top to some far-off place like Battle Creek, Michigan, and waiting 6 to 8 weeks to get our prize. To allow the rest of the world to cooperate with us, we may need to take the steps we know we need to take and then say to ourselves, oh, I hope whatever I've done is the right answer, and I will use patience. We just need to take the steps. We need to allow the rest of the world to cooperate with us and take its steps too. Remember those two brothers, doubt and fear? They are brothers, but as it turns out, they don't like living in the same house. Doubt appreciates watching fear, but doesn't like living under the same roof. Doubt wants to move out as soon as possible and move to wherever it can. If we are around someone else whose fear starts resonating with us, be aware that doubt is looking for a home. If we accept the other person's doubt, if we make a home for it, if we have our own doubt, it robs us. Doubt takes from you just as easily as fear. Doubt does it subtly. Fear does it directly. Hope is a sister who doesn't like either of her two brothers. Hope wants out of the house of fear and doubt also. Hope would actually prefer to live in the forest rather than the same house as doubt and fear. Doubt wants to move out because it feels it has a better advantage somewhere else besides living with fear. So it's always looking for a new place to call home. Fear gives it away. Doubt has an element of truth about it in it. Doubt looks for an element of truth because the element of truth disguises it. Doubt needs a little reality. Doubt, being what doubt is, doesn't like to get found out. Doubt likes to hide. Doubt hides with the facts, or at least the illusion of facts. Doubt is there, even before you know it. Doubt moves in, even if it's uninvited. All you can be aware of is that doubt is living with you. And that means it's time to take another step of action. And that means exploring choice, increasing choice, rather than giving illusion the upper hand. One of the things that makes it difficult for us to maintain hope in our life is being a little too far away from the point of success. When we are too far away from it, when the hope is too far removed from us, doubt gets a chance to work more easily. When we know the thing we visualize is our hope is something very far out there and will require a lot of cooperative effort to achieve it, it becomes harder for us to imagine that we can actually accomplish the goal. That doesn't mean that it loses its sense of fun. It means that it gains a sense of frustration. For everything that we try that doesn't work, it emphasizes our doubt. It emphasizes our fear. If the string that attaches to our hope is too long, then things get out of control too easily. But what if the key to hope is the ability to refrain from paying too much attention to the past? We are not talking about the ability to remain in the now, but rather the ability to refrain from relying on the past for instruction. Fear often likes to focus on the past. Hope likes to focus on the now and the future. The discovery of the difference can come in different ways. Mostly it comes by making mistakes. Maybe in the past you tried to create something specific and you made a mistake. But isn't that new thing just really a different creation? Maybe it was something you didn't expect, but it doesn't mean it's not useful. Some of you might remember the television host and painter Bob Ross. He was always talking about happy mistakes. An unintended brushstroke was turned into something useful in the scene of the painting he was creating. He just blended it in and made use of it. And the painting ended up being something more than it started to be. Hope says, I would like to create this. But it acknowledges possibility that this is not necessarily the best that could be. Hope says, I hope I get this, but I will accept a lot of other things. Hope can be thought of as a feeling. It is a place that says no matter what, you can get up and keep moving. It is a thing that says as long as you have the ability of conscious thought, we have the possibility of success. It is the place that says as long as your heart beats and your mind moves, you can continue. It is the place that allows your spirit and your physical existence. And it is the place that ensures that in those times when it seems hopeless, that you stand forward against apparently unopposable odds and that you revel in that. It is the place that allows you, in the face of something you cannot possibly conceive of any rational manner being able to do, that you still attempt it. It is that little place inside you that doesn't matter what I know, because what I know isn't going to solve the problem. It is what I do. It is the place that says, let's try it. It is the place that is non-judgmental because it never bothers to stop and make the judgment. It is the place that is non-critical because there is nothing to be critical of. It is the place that is overall accepting and allows you to instantly adapt yourself to whatever is happening and somehow, without conscious reasoning ability, take the next step. It is the place that doesn't process because it is the place that doesn't think in terms of your conscious mind. It is the place that simply does, and it is not at all reactive. It is interactive. Your physical body has the ability to undermine hope. The physical world has the ability to undermine hope. The two brothers, doubt and fear, belong in the physical world, and they want to get into the spiritual world. Hope says things aren't always exactly as you see them each day. Hope says there is something more. Hope that says it doesn't have to be this way, and it gives you the ability to take a chance. And it turns out that chance is the sister of hope, and so is risk. If things don't change, or you can't see them change, then there isn't hope. Hope helps you stand up in the morning and go about your life. Hope is the kind of help that says, oh, I can take a chance. I can take a risk. I can take a choice. And I can move away from here. I am not bound by today unless I allow it. I choose hope. I choose to take a step, and then another step, and another. I choose to take a chance on what I hope could be.